you have this amazing, I mean, this spiritual practice that's really built up for you and helped, I think, maybe added balance, so you knew where you're coming from while you were doing these things. And like many of us, you've gone through different relationships, but now you have an amazing relationship with KT.
Yes.
And I would just love to have people hear a little bit about your thoughts about relationships. And I mean, just seeing you and KT together is a joy, you know, because you have such a great relationship. And it's just, I think it would be interesting for people to know your thoughts about relationships.
Yeah. In the same way that I think money is a teacher for you to learn about who you are, I think relationships with somebody you love happen to serve the same function. Because in the end, when you think about it, Reed, either the person dies first, you die, but it ends. There's an ending point to it. So I never had a good relationship with anybody until I met KT, including my mother, my father, and I carried that dysfunctional type of stuff, not blaming them at all, but into every relationship I had. I got into that relationship, and I had realized very early on into that relationship, this isn't a good relationship, but I didn't have the courage to get out, because God forbid I should hurt that person. So every relationship went from bad to a little better, to a little better, to a little better, to a little better. And it wasn't until I was 50 years of age, 12 years ago now, that KT walked into my life. Wasn't looking for a relationship, was in a horrible relationship at the time, had wanted to get out of that relationship, but the good old powerful Suze Orman didn't have the ability to do so. And when I met KT, I knew almost immediately that she was sent as a gift to me. And it was going to be my 50th birthday, Reed. 50. I was at my halfway point. And I thought, Suze, you can't start your 50th birthday in a lie. And if you stay in the relationships that you're in, if you continue to have friendships with people that you know aren't there for you really, you're living a lie. And how can you live a lie and ask other people to live the truth? So on my 50th birthday, I ended my relationship of 8 years and started to walk towards the future with KT. And the perfection of it is beyond anything I ever could have imagined. It's hard to really want something more for somebody else than yourself without depriving yourself. But I kind of found that the more I give to KT, the more I give to myself. And people ask me, Suze, are you afraid of anything in life? And I now only have one answer. And my biggest fear is losing KT. Not where we would separate, because I know we'll never separate. But one day, death will come. And I'll accept it graciously, but I'm still afraid of that day, because I'm also still human, and I still have lessons to learn. But if you keep marching forward, there is a perfect relationship out there for every single person if you just don't settle for what you have. And now we come back to the topic of money, because, Reed, so many people stay in a bad relationship because they're afraid if they don't stay in it, where will the money come? They'll lose half of what they have. And then they start to put money before themselves. So when I say people first, then money, then things again, that phrase, I mean that for you in relationship. You've got to put yourself first, even if that means you have no money. Because money will come again. Money comes and goes. It will be replaced, but if you continue to stay in a state of hate and fear, you'll never have that which you should want in your life anyway. So my relationship makes up a serious part now of who I am.
One of Hay House was kind of started with Louise working with people with AIDS when no one else would do it. Like there would even the president wouldn't say the name AIDS when Louise started. And it was an unpopular thing for her to do. I know that one of the things that you're working on that you really feel a great care for is helping people with same-sex marriages have financial equality, basically, to men and women getting married and that sort of thing. And I was wondering if you could tell like a little bit about that.
You know, what's wonderful about my life, among many things, is that I knew from a very young age that I was gay. I'm here sitting with you at 62, have never been with a man my entire life. And so my love has always been for other women. Now, obviously, I love men. I love having relationships with men. You and I have had a very close relationship now for God knows how many years. But I want to spend my life with a woman as one. Right. And I never thought in my lifetime, because I've come now from way long ago, like before it was not cool to be gay. Right. It wasn't accepted anywhere. So remember in the 60s and wasn't like it is today. Right. So I never thought in my lifetime that I would be able to legally marry in the United States KT. Now, I've never really wanted to get married to anybody before. Right. But I've always wanted to marry KT. Right. And so now we stand, as we're taping this interview, at the probability that it's going to become legal and recognized in certain states anyway, on the federal level, not just the state level. Right. And I want to have a part in that. I love being known in the United States as the money lady and actually all over the world. Right. But I also want to be known as somebody who had something to do with the fact that gay men and women everywhere, especially in the United States, will be able to stand as one in marriage. Right. And I will do anything and everything to hopefully support that become a reality.
Remember to join us June 1st through the 10th to hear these enlightening conversations in full and for free.